Already out.
On to the next.
Just like that. Only took like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to work on.
Not even trying to work fast.
Yeah, just chilling.
And that's like taking everything out. Turbo kick, bumper.
Wiring harness,
yeah, everything.
bottom brace for the mounts.
Pretty dangerous. I'm like, gonna chop my face off. There's still a lot of oil in here, dude.
I don't see any metal. I feel like it just bent a rod. Well, there's the problem. She bent a rod. Looks like cylinder number 4. You can see here it was hitting on the bottom edge of the cylinder wall right there because the rod bent, so that's where the knock was coming from. Guess the two-step was just too much for her.
A little too rowdy.
A little too rowdy, but honestly that's really not that bad. No metal shavings at all. Oil pickup's really clean. All it did was just slightly bend that rod right there. So in theory you could just replace that rod and the motor would be good. So I mean, yeah, we can just take it apart and this will be the one that gets all built for the future, and then we can just throw the motor that's out of the MR2 in the Subaru for right now. So we got the motor pulled out, pulled the pan off, threw it up on the engine stand and flipped it over, and turns out she did bend a rod. So it does kind of suck, but luckily we have the motor that just came out of the MR2, which is the exact same K-series that this one was. So we're just gonna throw that one in the car for right now. And the motor did have to come out anyways. If you guys saw in the last video, we were kind of talking about the clutch some, and we were having issues with it not wanting to shift when we were revved up high up in the RPM. The pedal just kind of go to the floor and it wouldn't fully engage the clutch. So what we were going to try to do is, when Clutch Masters gave us this kit, they included this hydraulic throwout bearing, and they also included some shims as well. When we put this together, we used 2 shims. They gave us 3 total, so we didn't put them all in there because we didn't think we'd need all of them. But we are going to go ahead and add the 3rd shim, and hopefully that will give us some more engagement. So this is the throwout bearing right here, and the shims go right underneath this guy. As you can see, we have 2 that are stacked in there right now, and then the 3rd one is in my hand. We're going to put the 3rd one in there, put this back on there, and what we're hoping is that that will give us some more throw on the clutch fins and have the clutch work more efficiently, and just hope that we can shift through the gears when we're up in the higher RPMs. So we planned on doing that anyway because we were messing with the clutch, bleeding it out yesterday, and no matter what we did, we couldn't get it to work how it should. It does work just for daily driving and not getting on it, but once you get higher up in the RPM, like I said, it just does not like to go into gear, especially 4th gear. 2nd to 3rd is like doable, but for some reason it does not like going from 3rd to 4th. So we're gonna add this other shim while the motor is out. That is something we planned on doing anyways. And then also we needed to take the pan back off to weld a baffle for the oil pickup. So really, it's not too bad that we had to pull the motor out because it was going to come out anyways. It just kind of sucks that we have to do all this extra work now to swap the other K in from the MR2, because we also got the intake manifold off, and we're going to have to take all the coolant stuff off, like this guy right here, and kind of swap all that stuff back over to the K-series. They came out of the MR2. But yeah, that's as much as I'm probably going to film for right now. I think we just want to kind of knock it out, and I'll probably pick back up on filming once we're ready to put the new motor back into it, because I don't want to keep grabbing the camera with our hands all dirty, and I just don't want to stop to film all the time. I think we're just going to try to knock it out today and get the Subaru back up and running. So that's where we're at for now. Really wasn't too bad. But and another thing I wanted to mention is I did call Brent and tell him what happened about it, and I also told him the settings that I use for the 2-step and everything, and he said it shouldn't be too bad to run those settings on 2-step. I did set it up pretty rowdy, as you saw in the video. She was shooting some flames, but I ran it like that on the MR2 all the time, never had an issue with it, and Brent said the motor should have been fine. So it either pre-detonated to bend that rod, so when the rod was coming up, it detonated too early and shoved that rod back down, trying to force the motor to go the other way. That could have bent it. Or Brent was saying if for some reason it was building up too much fuel while it was 2-stepping, it could have like hydro locked that cylinder, and you know, if there's too much fuel in the cylinder and it can't burn it all, the piston will try to come up and it'll just smack all that unburnt fuel and bend the rod because the fuel's not going to compress. But that's at least what he said. yeah, not sure why she did that, but it is what it is. So we got to fix her anyways. All right, so it's the next day and we ran into a little bit of an issue yesterday. We were pulling everything off of the motor that came out of the MR2. We got the transmission, flywheel, and clutch, and all the manifolds off of it. And right as we were getting ready to put everything back on it, we realized that these are actually two different models of K-Series. The one that came out of the MR2 is a K24A4, and the one that came out of the STI is a K24A1. The reason this is an issue is because the A4 that came out of the MR2 has all this EGR stuff on the side of the head, while the A1 that came out of the STI does not. So you can see right here, that K-tune plate that I have on my MR2, that doesn't exist right here at all, and the main coolant port on the MR2 comes from the side of the head right here, whereas the A1, the main coolant port is on this side of the head, the same side as the intake, and then it also has this tube coming off the bottom of it that goes to the thermostat housing right there. So the problem with that is that when you put on the S2000 intake manifold, like so, it doesn't completely cover up this port, and the intake off the MR2 does. It has a piece that kind of extends over all of this. K-tuned does make a little piece that goes over this, and then you can keep that coolant port that goes to the top of the thermostat housing, which is this hole right here, and then it just deletes this hole that is part of the EGR system completely. So if we had that part from K-tuned, we'd be able to run the K24A4 that came out of the MR2 with no issues at all, but we really don't have that much time to wait on that part, and it also requires some drilling and tapping to install it, which isn't a big deal. But the main thing is we don't want to wait for the part to get here. We need to get this thing back up and going as soon as we can. And with what we have right now, we could take the head off of the A1 and put it onto the A4. All we would need is a head gasket, and then that would swap right over, and that's what we did plan on doing. And we were talking to Brent about some things, but he was actually telling us that he has a built K20 bottom end in one of the storage units. So I think we're gonna go meet up with him and check that out, and we might end up just throwing that together because we have to swap heads on stuff anyways. And Emilio has an extra K20 that he brought over that Fong let him have, and we're gonna see if we can possibly put together a built, mildly built K-Series for the STI. While we're doing all this work. So if that works out, then we're just gonna go that route. So that's where we're at right now, and we just kind of waited to film until the next day because we weren't sure what we were gonna do. So we're gonna head over there right now to the storage unit, meet Brent over there, see if we can dig it out of there, and then I guess we'll go from there. This is the one.
This is one of the ones.
One of the ones.
One of them.
Damn, you guys had a lot of stuff.
This is not the bigger ones over there.
So you didn't even know that one was built when you had it?
No, it sat. Remember, it sat there for how long with the blue Velcro?
Is that the one that? That's the one that came out of the RSX, right? Yeah. When I pulled the motor for the harness
Oh, with
for the
this cover on
MR2.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember it. That was that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I knew that was built back then, I would have got it for the MR2.
It's fully built, everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that K-Series that we pulled out a long time ago was fully built.
Because I sold the head, and I was like, why did I even take it apart?
Yeah, for real.
But I didn't know. I just thought it was stock.
Well, at least you still have the bottom end.
And I gotta show Emilio what real strength is.
Then get on this side and just you're free.
Yeah, that's true. But that one's not on wheels. That's the problem.
Oh, that's just that's just wood.
That's the real big problem.
I need to sell that motor. Anybody need a BMW X6M?
That's that motor?
Yes. Tell me where to grab it, son.
There she is.
That's her.
K20 with rods and pistons.
Yep.
You gotta get the boat going.
The boat?
Yeah, it's hot. You've been dressing for it every day.
Oh no. Fucking door stuck.
Stuck?
Look at all these K-Series. Got 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're collecting.
There's too many, dude. So this is the one that Emilio got from Fong. This is a K20 A2. And we're gonna be taking the head off of this one and put it onto the built bottom end K20 that we just got from Brent. And then we'll just go from there, get that thrown in there.
It's gonna be
be
nice
ready to
with
go.
that. Oh yeah.
We have definitely everything we need.
Got the ARP head studs too.
Yeah, it has head studs,
That's a plus. Ready for
forged
some
pistons, H-beam rods. Ready to go. We just got to clean her off and also pick up a head gasket.
There it is.
Well, this is as far as we're gonna get for tonight. We got the other K20 all ripped apart, got the head off of it, and then we got a new head gasket, cleaned everything off, and we just got the head off of this K20 thrown onto the built bottom end. And we have to stop now because we need one more ARP washer for this last head stud right here. This block did come with ARP head studs as well. And we have all the nuts, but we are missing one washer. I don't have any extras here, so we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow so we can get one of those, and then we can torque this down and then just start getting everything put back together on it and then get it back into the car. Obviously, that's the plan. But that's where we're at for right now. So we're gonna call it for tonight and just gonna make a quick video and keep you guys posted on what happened to the STI. So she did bend a rod, and we're gonna work on getting this built bottom end motor put back in her and hopefully have it running by tomorrow if we have everything, which yeah, we should be able to do that. So it's gonna be it for tonight, guys. So thanks for watching.